Carmelo here, not just relationship-wise, but what do you think he can do on the court for you guys this year?
Man, I mean, I think the sky's the limit. You know, with Melo's hunger, his ability to stretch the court, and just his hunger. You know, I think we talked about it last year. The biggest thing that me, James, Tuck, Coach, all of us have in common is that we have a common goal and want to win a championship. And so I think Melo adds that same, you know, hunger.
What do you like the most about playing with him on like those USA teams?
That he didn't miss. You know what I mean? Like when you play those USA teams, you know, Melo was always so aggressive. You know, the way that we played and things like that. But yeah, you're gonna love that if you're playing with somebody that doesn't miss.
You talked about his hunger. What about your hunger? I know you've always been very motivated to win a title, but is it even more so after how your season ended last year?
No. Tell you the truth, it's gonna be the same. You know what I mean? I think one thing that changes is maybe you know, routine and all that different type of stuff, but approach and mindset, that doesn't change. That doesn't change no matter how well or how bad it goes. That's just how you built. It's got to be in you.
Richard talked again today, and he has several times up and said that this team was a hamstring away from going to finals. How painful was that for you then? I don't mean the actual injury itself, but not being able to be out there, how it went down, how tough, and is that, have you put it behind you? That's something, how do you look at all that?
It was tough. Obviously, I wanted to play, but you know, it was what it was. But I took a couple weeks or whatnot rehab when the season got over, and then it was back to work. It was back to work, and you know, we not going back in time. You know what I mean? So all I could do was get back to work and get ready for the season.
That's the toughest thing that's ever happened to you on the floor.
Man, if that's the toughest thing, then I'm living a real good life. You know what I mean? So it's definitely up there as far as basketball goes. You know, being out there on the court, not being able to influence the outcome. If that doesn't do something to you, then you're in the wrong profession. So.
Chris, how difficult about what this team might be able to do? You never know. Like you get started, you guys spend some time together in the summer, but how excited are you about just getting started with
I'm always excited. Year 14 for me, that's a blessing in itself. You know, I talked to my parents this morning. They called me, you know, excited. Every year, it's always a different challenge. You know, last year it was whether or not, you know, it was enough basketballs on the court for me and James. You know what I mean? This year it's gonna be something else. So who knows what the story or the rhetoric's gonna be? You know, but for us, it's all about putting in the work, and that's what training camp and, you know, the beginning of the season's for.
What was June like for you? Did you know once the season ended that you wanted to come back here, or was there a decision-making process prior to your free agency?
Did you watch last year? Nah, it wasn't much. You know, I mean, seriously, I've said it before. When you're a kid and you're in the backyard and you're playing with your friends and you want to get to the NBA and play in the NBA, that's all you think about is basketball. It's basketball. And, you know, the fun that we had last year, it wasn't too much to think about. You know, just thinking about the team camaraderie that we had and the way that we play here, it's fun. It's fun, and I tell that to anybody, any and every day.
There's some thoughts about the way you've embraced this organization and this city, and the way the city and the organization have embraced you.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Coming here in the trade, the city has been unbelievable. Obviously, dealing with the hurricane last year, that was tough and unfortunate. But the way the city embraced not only me but my family and vice versa, it's been amazing. And you know, to see how the fans got behind the Astros last year, you know, and to see the way they got behind us in the playoffs, they deserve a championship here, and that's what we're gonna try to do.
Chris, Tillman was just saying that anything less than getting back to the Western Conference Finals, from his perspective, would be a disappointment. You guys have that perspective too. I mean, you raised the bar so high with D'Antoni, 65 wins, that you have to get back there again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't operate like that. I mean, you trying to get me to say something real crazy right now, right?
No, no,
You really are. But I won't get
I'm
that
just
to
curious
you.
what your
Like,
expectations are.
I mean, anybody in the sporting world who plays just to play, I never been built like that. So,
Chris, why does Mike D'Antoni work so well with this group of players, with this team?
I think it's communication. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned in leadership is communication. I was doing an interview earlier. That's probably one of the last things I had to really grasp is being able to have those tough conversations, good, bad, or indifferent. You got to be able to talk about it. So, me and James, whether it's a situation in the game, we'll talk about it. It's not always pretty, but we talk about it. Arguments happen, but then we get past it, and that's what gives us the ability to go to the next level. So, I think Coach does a great job of communicating and trying to keep us as involved as possible with things that's going on with the team.
Defense became such a big part of you guys by the end of the year. I mean, by Western Conference Finals, almost the defense was beating the Warriors as much as the offense was being able to keep up with them. You have a coaching change, you lose some key pieces, but you also pick up some key pieces as well. How important do you think it is to be able to reestablish that defensive identity with the changes?
Yeah, I think it's funny because, that's what happens when, other people get a chance to tell your story. But from day one last year, our defense is what we focused on. You know what I mean? Everybody just wanted to talk about us playing fast and shooting threes, but defense was our focus last year from day one with Camp, with Tuck, with Trevor, with Luke, and all of us. And that's why our team was as good as we were last year. Obviously, losing the pieces that we lost, we added a bunch of really good guys. I think James Ennis, Michael Carter-Williams, all these different guys, I think will come in and fit in because the way that we operate with our team, with what we built, it was all about culture. And if you think you're gonna come in our team and not play defense, Tuck got another thing coming for you. You know what I mean? So as we talked about last year, it was all about building the culture, and I think, we've done that, and we're gonna see.
Chris, can you talk about, what James did on the court, right? MVP and all the accolades. You guys seem to have a really good relationship. What have you learned about him that maybe the rest of us don't know? That's not a secret. You know what I mean? You can share about.
I don't know. I think, James and I, we just really work well together, and I think it just stems from how our relationship started with communicating. You know what I mean? And he's fun, and the biggest thing that we both have in common is we love to be in the gym. When you got somebody that just loves to play basketball as much as James, people see, the step backs or the Euro steps and all that. When you play on our team, if you're watching a game and you see him make a tough step back, everybody like, wow, but we expect that because he practices. We have guys that just stay in the gym, and when you have a guy like that, and he wins the MVP, everybody on our team didn't go crazy. It's like sort of expected.
Chris, Mike was telling us why PJ Tucker is so special. From your point of view, why is PJ so special?
Tuck, ain't gonna be none of that. Just, I ain't gonna be up here just going all crazy on Tuck. But I've known Tuck since I was 10 years old. You know what I mean? So it's a different relationship. It's a trust. I know about him playing overseas, and when we was younger, and people sort of doubting him and saying he was an undersized forward and all this stuff. So Tuck just built different. It might be him being from North Carolina too, but he just he's a special guy that you gotta have on your team. That you just gotta have on your team. And I'm sure other guys hate to play against him, but he's just relentless.
Chris, going on there too, can you talk about the interview you were thinking Bella and the stuff you said?
Yeah, CC, man, that's another huge piece of our team. I don't know what the record was or whatnot when CC played and when he didn't play, but his ability to be at the rim and be defensively our backbone was huge, and I'm so happy he got his contract this summer. It was well deserved. But we communicate with Clint too, also, in that for him being as good as he is, he has to take the next step too. With all of us, and I think if we all come back, even 1% better than we were last year, we really got a chance.
Chris, you talked about it a little bit just a second ago, but you were the new guy last year.
things obviously worked out pretty well. How does your role change this year with all the new guys coming in terms of teaching that culture that you were talking about?
Yeah, you know, I think we just got to communicate it and talk to them as much as possible. For me, last year, you know, I remember our very first team meeting, Coach showed a diagram of the best shooting game last year, and there was only 2 mid-range shots. You know what I mean? So early in the season, I would sort of get to the elbow and, I might just need to circle out. But communicating, Coach came up to me and was like, play. You know, he was like, who? You know what I mean? And I think that's when I got more comfortable at just taking whatever shot was there. But then you just figure it out. And the best part about it is nobody knows how many shots you've attempted all game long. You know, we just play hard, we play together, and at the end of the game, we won. That's cool.
Chris, as good as you guys were last year, do you think the injection of younger players this offseason is going to be a benefit to you over the long haul of the season?
I don't know. We don't see. One thing that I don't do when I walk in the locker room is ask everybody for their birth certificates. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, I know what you're saying about younger guys, but I don't know. But we'll see.
Chris, 14 years.
Last question, guys.
Chris, 14 years in, you said, it's a blessing to be here. You always have the same kind of mindset and intensity. What is it that you do to take the next step? Maybe is there something that you said, okay, this year I want to do more of this? Is there something yourself?
I don't know. I think the biggest thing for me, obviously, I want to stay healthy. But I don't know. For me, I'm just competitive. You know what I mean? I push myself. You know, I compete with myself day in and day out, whatever that may be. You know what I mean? So until I go 100% from the free throw line or make all my mid-range shots or threes and all that stuff, I think I'm always trying to find ways to improve and get better, just because, you know, I know that there's, you know, guys come into the league year in and year out. I always think about when I came in as a rookie, how I couldn't wait to play against Jay Kidd or Gary Payton or Chauncey Billups. You know what I mean? So, you know, I know it's rookies this year who want all that action. So for me, it's all about being ready to compete. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.